But who do I think will win Rookie of the Year?
Once a Giant, always a Giant. For me, it's only a Giant.
So what's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. So to start this off, let me know who you think will be the Rookie of the Year this year. Is it going to be one of these three guys that I'm going to talk about? Or is it going to be someone else that I'm completely disrespecting and I'm completely leaving out? Go ahead and type that down in the comments. I'll give you a couple seconds. Come on, type it. So Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa, I usually don't try to say his last name, but I'm going to have to get better at it. But those two were great college quarterbacks. Tua was a championship guy. Joe Burrow was an ordinary guy until last year, where he just completely exploded and had the best college year of all time, bar none. Justin Herbert was a guy that I wanted the Giants to draft, and if he was coming out last year, I'm pretty sure the Giants would have drafted him over Daniel Jones. But he decided to come back for an extra year, and during this extra year, his draft stock just completely plummeted. He was a guy that was mobile, strong, tall. All of his weaknesses came to the forefront last year, and he just showed to be a poor decision maker. So his draft stock completely fell, while Joe Burrow, taking that extra time, his draft stock rose a lot. Tua is a guy who came in for Jalen Hurts and just completely unlocked the keys to that Alabama offense. Before, Alabama was just known for their defense and handing it off to the running back. But Tua came in there and had them looking like a team that throws the ball, which Alabama wasn't for a while. And they didn't really have good quarterbacks. But Tua came in and set the tone for Alabama quarterbacks. So out of these three exciting young players, who's going to win Rookie of the Year? I believe it's going to be one of these three. First, we'll start off with Joe Burrow. This is a guy who's playing in his home state. I think his hometown is not too far away from Cincinnati, but he's playing in his home state and he's coming in hot. He's going to be coming in hot off of this. I mean, that's an amazing season he just had. And he's going to have AJ Green. He's going to have Tyler Boyd. He's going to have Joe Mixon in the backfield to hand the ball off to. And he's playing in Zach Taylor's offense. So that means that he's going to be playing in a similar offense to Joe Brady's offense, which is essentially Sean Payton's offense down in New Orleans. So that's going to be a huge plus for him. This is a guy that played against the best college competition and made them all look ridiculous. He made them all look silly. And he's a strong guy. He's got a big arm. He's mobile. He's an improviser. And he doesn't really make much mistakes. Now, a lot of people will say he was on a team that was really great. A lot of people will say that he only had one good year. And those are fair points, especially the one about the one good year, but pretty much every college quarterback who played on a great team, I mean, they're gonna have great receivers. Baker Mayfield, we don't know if he's gonna be great, but at least his rookie year, he looked like he was gonna be great. Kyler Murray, he had a lot of weapons. He looked like he was gonna be great. A guy like Dwayne Haskins, he had a ton of weapons and he didn't look so good. But the jury's out on him. Daniel Jones didn't have a ton of weapons and he looked pretty good. As far as the guys that had weapons, you can't really hold that against them because you can make the same argument for someone like Patrick Mahomes. You can make the same argument for a ton of guys. So he's going to have a lot of weapons. He's going to have better players in Cincinnati with AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon in the backfield. He's going to have talent around him. With Tua, he's going to have Devontae Parker, who I think is going to be towards the top of the league in receivers. Probably in the next couple of years, he's going to be one of the best guys. He already is rising up there. He's going to have Brian Flores, who's a second-year head coach who had his team outplaying. They were outplaying their roster by far. And when you got to that second half of the season, the beginning, the Dolphins were considered the worst team in the league by far. And as the season went on, even as they gave away all of their best players, they started to play better and better. And Brian Flores is coming in hot into the season, and he's going to be Tua's head coach. Another plus for Tua is that he's going to have Ryan Fitzpatrick to mentor him. You can say about him whatever you want to say. This dude has been in the league for a long time. He's had some good seasons, he's had some horrible seasons, but he knows the NFL. and he's going to be able to mentor Tua. And I don't think these other two quarterbacks have that. I mean, what do they have? Tyrod Taylor? They don't have what Ryan Fitzpatrick can give to Tua as a rookie. Also, Tua, he's done it for the longest. He's been at the highest level. I think Joe Burrow had a higher ceiling. He had a higher overall level of play this 1 year. But as far as the longest they played well, definitely Tua has the most proven. He's the most championship pedigree type of guy. The only thing is, the plus that you give him for having Ryan Fitzpatrick is also not a plus, because he might not play the whole year. Ryan Fitzpatrick is looking great in training camp. Tua's coming off of a hip injury, and I don't think they want to rush him. He has such a long leash because of this injury and because how good they think he can be, that he's probably going to miss half of the season because they're going to be sitting him. We all know that eventually he'll get on the field this year. This is just how these things work. But he's probably going to miss some games because, one, they might think that Ryan Fitzpatrick at the beginning gives them a better chance. Two, he's coming off of a devastating hip injury. So I believe that Justin Herbert will have the best array of weapons. He's going to have Keenan Allen. He's going to have Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. So he's going to have, I think he's going to have the best array of weapons out of these three quarterbacks, what they have to work with. Justin Herbert is not expected to save the Chargers year one. They just want a young quarterback who they can market as they transition to being the LA Chargers. They're still transitioning. I don't think they have really a stadium yet, but he's not expected to just set the league on fire year one. He's in a tough division. There's less pressure on him. These other two guys, they're synonymous with championships in college. So they expect them to get to the NFL and immediately start tearing it up. But Justin Herbert, he's a guy that can extend plays with a strong arm, and with less pressure, he might just go out there and be loose. So the cons are, his offensive line is not going to be that good this year. He has a lot of decision-making issues. Kind of like Tua, he doesn't really have an offensive-minded head coach who can teach him out of these decision-making issues. Usually with a guy that comes in that has quarterback issues, that has, quirks with their game, if they have a quarterback guru in there, that can kind of get fixed. So he doesn't really have that as his head coach. So that's something that I'm worried about, because I'm a guy who's a Justin Herbert fan, and I kind of worry about him being able to correct these mistakes as he plays for a coach that's not necessarily an offensive-minded guy. But who do I think will win Rookie of the Year? Joe Burrow, to me, he's the best out of these three guys. He has everything that these other two have. He makes less mistakes, and he doesn't have an injury issue. Now, it was 1 year, but he's going to be playing in pretty much the same offense. I think about 3 or 4 months ago, there was an article that came out that said that Joe Burrow was asking the coaches, can we have private lessons so I can continue to dive ahead into this playbook, because I'm kind of bored right now. There's nothing going on. I believe that this will give him the opportunity to have more responsibility placed on him in year one. He's going to have AJ Green. I believe that AJ Green will come back and be that star that he's always been. And he's going to have Tyler Boyd. That's more than enough for him to continue in a familiar offense with, familiar verbiage that is going to take advantage of his strengths. Like I said, there's nothing that you can look at these other two quarterbacks or their situations and say, Joe Burrow doesn't have this, whether it be in his game, his situation. And I believe he'll probably have the best running back to start off with Joe Mixon, to lean on if he's not having the best day or if he's confused. He can always turn around and hand the ball off to Joe Mixon. I'm not only expecting Joe Burrow to win Rookie of the Year, I'm also expecting him to break the rookie touchdown record that Daniel Jones should have broken if he would have played the whole season. But I'm expecting Joe Burrow to be around 29 touchdowns this first year, and I think he'll be the most exciting rookie quarterback to watch. Tua might have been able to compete with him, but I don't think he's going to play the whole year. But I'm definitely excited to see these three get onto the field this year. Always exciting to see new rookie quarterbacks get into the NFL, see how they adjust, see if they can translate what they were doing in college to the NFL. But for right now, I have Joe Burrow. If you're still here, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. There's going to be more content like this coming in the near future. And I upload, if not daily, pretty much every other day. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And until next time, D546, I'm out.